Whitney Eads, RN, another talk of gritty grief, another layer on grief today. Sitting out in the garden, so you might hear a little bit of weed pulling, kind of some ASMR sounds of me pulling weeds as I'm working through all of this with us. Yesterday I was talking about just grief in general and the expectations that people have about it. It had me spark a few conversations with a couple of friends. My Nicole friend I mentioned that lost her son, another friend who had lost hers, and we really got to talking about some other things that were happening in our lives as well. And that made me think of all of our layers of grief that we have in our lives that are multi-layered like an onion. We have all these different kinds of grief that we experience in our lives and affect us. And death is one of them, but we have other grieving too. We have grievings of expectations or career things that didn't necessarily work out. And then all of a sudden, something really horrific happens and it kind of upends our micro griefs and overtakes it all. So we came to the conclusion yesterday after we were discussing this that grief, you cannot control when it knocks on your door. It comes at you like a train off the tracks. There's no way that you know exactly when it's going to come. Sure, you may know your loved one is sick or something else is going on in your life, but you cannot always control the moment that that grief hits and the way that you absorb it and how you're going to react to it and what the level of it is. Those micro griefs, although they are not impactful like a death, but those twisted expectations where you didn't get what you want, or you were treated in a way that you didn't expect, lose a job, lose a house, lose a car, different things like that, the physical realm and the material realm, those things also provide a little bit of grief. Not to discount the death grief, because that's like the king grief of all, if you want to consider a grief to be king. Yet the layers of grief, our onion layers of grief across our lives, are significant. And it's okay to realize that when something else is taking precedence, to set it down, to not make excuses for it, to give yourself time to process, because it's another layer that's going to hit you. And we can't always control when those layers of grief happen. Consider your onion layers of grief. Consider the things that are also impactful to you besides death, that make your heart race, make you feel bad, make you feel a certain way that you should, that maybe you don't want to feel like that. There's lots of different layers of grief, and it's okay to acknowledge them. That's it for today from the Garden and Gritty Grief, and I hope that everybody has a good afternoon. The garden that I'm working in, phone just fell down. The garden that I'm working in came to be because I lost my father in 2000, first day of 2000, and I needed somewhere to work and get my mind back together, and I have about a 4-acre garden that I will be sharing with you guys from time to time. So I hope that you all have a beautiful day, and let's get gritty about grief. We're all grieving.